Hello everyone, thanks so much for taking the time to join me today. I really appreciate it. Today we're going to be talking about something that you may have heard different folks at Kineo talking about from time to time, but maybe haven't seen it yet. And we're actually still pretty new to it and learning it ourselves, but ready to kind of talk about it, make people aware of it, and kind of get you guys excited about it. So Totara Social. This is something that is fairly new to the Totara learning space area, and we just wanted to kind of give you a quick little tour of what exactly it is and how you might tie it to a site and stuff like that. A little bit about myself. My name is Taylor Craig. I'm the platforms consultant here at Kineo. So I get the pleasure of working with you guys on site, online, and every place in between. Work with our sales team pretty closely, and then I also work really closely with our solution architects to make sure you guys are trained on your solution and hopefully comfortable with it. About office hours here, we do about 45 minutes of client-only Q&A time after we have about a 15-minute feature presentation. Today's session might be a little bit longer because there's quite a bit to show in Totara Social, but basically what we do is we post that feature presentation up to YouTube for anybody who needs access to it, and then we cut off that client-only Q&A time. We don't share that with the world. But if you want a copy of the full recording, I generally do have it, and I'm glad to send it along to you. So if you need it, let me know. I'll be glad to pass it your way. So let's talk a little bit about what exactly Totara Social is before we actually dive into the interface itself. It is actually a separate instance from Totara, so it's not like a plug-in, so it's not something that you tie directly into Totara, but it's more of a single sign-on, kick you across to a totally different environment. Now, it's what we would call an enterprise social learning platform, whereas Totara is a learning management system. So what the difference is between those two is that a learning management system, which is what Totara is, that is going to give you very streamlined, this is the learning that we are teaching you, here is content type of learning. Whereas an enterprise social learning platform, what that is going to be is that is going to be something of kind of more so the learners or the people who are on that site learning from one another and sharing information with one another. So letting them know, hey, I know a lot about this particular topic and I'm very passionate about it. Here, come check out my blogs on this topic. Working together in a social type of environment. I often like to call Totara Social, it's similar to Facebook, but more so LinkedIn, but then it's also only for your particular environment, for your company. So it's not as broad of a spectrum as your LinkedIn, Facebook, things like that. So basically it can foster collaboration within and across your organization. People can share files with one another, they can share forum discussions, there's lots of things that they can do with one another, and we'll get into the system here in a minute and actually look at that. And it's going to support that formal learning in a more informal environment. So basically, like I was saying, your formal environment is Totara, and that has the actual content, and then your informal learning would be Totara Social, where people go to talk about that learning. So they go to express what they feel about the learning that they have learned. And it's also a really good tool for recording and organizing knowledge. You can search it, so it can kind of almost become a knowledge database among your company and among your environment there. So there's things that people can do, people who have access to it. Typically that's going to be your learners that are in your Totara LMS. You're going to be pushing them across to Totara Social. And they can do two major things. They can contribute and they can connect with one another. The ways that they can contribute, that's going to be utilizing pages, something that we call ideas. They can pose questions to one another. They can write blogs. They can keep a list of their own to-dos. They can even share those to-do lists with other people. And then they can also load files, share files, all of that good stuff. They can connect in a variety of different ways. You can actually create multiple groups inside of Totara Social. So you can either build those groups for yourself as an administrator and have those there, or you can even give certain people their own group to administer. You can also give people the ability to create their own groups. So you've probably seen that in Facebook and LinkedIn and other social media sites where people have the ability to create their own groups and talk about whatever it is that they're passionate about. They can connect directly with people, so they can connect directly with their coworkers and peers. And then also there is a chat feature that is built into Totara Social. So for those of you who don't know, Totara itself is built on the Moodle learning management system, and then Totara Social is actually built on what we call Mahara. So it's also a very similar open source social networking type of product there. And one of the new things that Totara has come in and added to Mahara would be this chat feature. That's not something that's available inside of Mahara right now, but it is available in Totara Social, and it's actually pretty cool. It's kind of a real-time IM messenger type of thing. So today we're going to log into the system. We're going to log in as Gary Fisher. Gary's pretty active in the site. He has blogs. He's posed questions. He's answered questions. He really likes ToDo Social, and he uses it a lot. We're also going to look at it from the perspective of Sarah Smith. She and Gary work together on a lot of things, and so we'll be able to see the two of them collaborating with one another. We'll also be logged in as an administrator together. And so we'll see that as well. We'll see that viewpoint. We probably aren't going to focus as much on the administrative side of things at this point, but we are going to just kind of get a feel for exactly what the system has to offer. So over here, I am logged in as Gary. When he first comes into the system, he is able to see what we call his home page. On his home page, he's going to see that he has home, which is going to bring him back here. He has the contribute option and the connect option. So he's got these two different options of things that he can do. This is going to look very familiar to you. It's a feed, so it's basically his news feed. He's able to see what people are talking about. You see here, he and Sarah had a conversation with one another at some point. So he's able to see a variety of different things that are being posted to the system by himself, by Sarah, by the people he's connected with, and the people he's friends with on the system. Now, if we look at this from Sarah's point of view, you'll notice that she is also on the home page, but she sees it a little bit differently. So that's going to be one of the main features that people have the ability to do. Everything inside of Totara Social is considered to be what we call a page. So if people want to see it a little bit different than someone else, they can absolutely do that. So they have the ability to go in there and say, you know what, I don't like this 2-column format. I want 3 columns, and I want to be able to see different blogs. I want to add different blocks for myself. I want to do things like that. So that's something that people can do. Sarah's looking at our more typical screen that we would see when we come into the system, just if we haven't done any additional configurations for ourselves. Okay, so you'll see here at the top she gets kind of a recommended type of block that she can close. It may be different every time she comes in. Right now it's just telling her here's all the popular groups on the site. You may want to join them. Sometimes it'll pop up different people who are on the site that have logged in recently that maybe she's not connected with. So it may make those people show up there as well, and she can connect with them. So basically, kind of, you've seen this typically up in the upper right-hand corner on LinkedIn, where it'll let you know, hey, I think you know this person, right? So it'll do similar things like that, but it's only within your company, okay? So let's talk about what they're able to do as far as contributing. So you'll see here she can update her status, ask a question, or propose an idea. She can do all of those things here as well. It's going to take her to the same place. Basically, she's going to be able to do all the same things. We're just going to kind of go down the list. So if she goes to contribute and all content, what she's going to see here is she's going to see any content that is that has been posted on the site. And she's just going to kind of see it in one big list, basically. She can either see her own content, or she can click on the all content link. And so here she's seeing stuff that Gary has posted. She's seeing things that she has posted. She sees things here that Calvin has posted. So if anybody has come in and posted anything, she's going to see it. So it could kind of serve as a knowledge base at this point, because she has the ability to come in here and she can actually search this. So if she wants to search for something about the company picnic, she can type in the word picnic, and everything relating to that is going to pop up. Okay. Now, again, a lot of this stuff has to have been shared. You'll notice here at the bottom it says shared with all users. Now, if it's only been shared with her, then she would see it. But if, say, Gary shared something with me and not Sarah, she wouldn't see that because that's more of a privately shared type of thing. So you have the ability to do those things as well. Okay. So that's what your all content area is going to do. If we go over here to pages, you'll see here, this is Sarah's home page. So that was what we were seeing a minute ago. This is how Gary went in and he changed his. He was able to edit that, and it allowed him to change the format. She also has a profile page, but she could create a brand new page at any time or copy any of her existing pages that she has. When the person comes in and creates a new page, they can simply name it whatever they might want to name it. They can provide a description for that page and save. And then from there, they can come in here, they can edit their layout. There's multiple different types of layouts that they can provide. So basically, it kind of allows them to create their own web pages where they can showcase the things that they know how to do well, showcase projects that they have worked on at the company, showcase anything that they want to share with their peers and colleagues. So she can choose from all of these different layout types, and then she has the ability to edit the content. So she can put all kinds of stuff in here. She can throw in media, she can throw in images, text box. If she has any blogs, she can post those. She can also post other people's blogs, that if other folks have blogs on the site, she can post those. She can provide a variety of different general information, an activity stream, comments, all different kinds of stuff. She can provide personal information about herself, and then she can also pop in things that are external. So really easy to do. She just grabs it, drags it, drops it out. And then once it's out there, then she can name it. She can put the content in there. Okay. She can add files. She can allow for comments on it, or she can turn that off. It's up to her as far as how she handles that. And then she can save it. Once she saves it, she sees that appear. So since she's allowing for comments, people will see that little link there. Then she can choose to display the page, so she can actually kind of see what's going on with the page, how it looks. You'll notice here she has a like option, a watch option, and a share option. With the share option, she can get a link to post this page out to Facebook, Google+, Twitter, LinkedIn, and other people would be able to come and look at it, but they wouldn't actually be able to get any further into the Totara social system. So they wouldn't be able to participate necessarily, but she may be able to share this out with a client or someone that needs to see this information. So she has the ability to do that as well. I'm going to click on this Edit Page button as well, and we're going to take a look at the sharing options. She's got lots of different sharing options, so she does have a secret URL that she could provide to anyone that needs to see it. Again, that might be someone like a client or someone at the company that she needs to share that with, so she could do that. She can choose if she's allowing others to share it on social networking sites. So if maybe it was really stellar, it can determine whether or not other people can continue to share it. She can allow comments. She can say, if I'm going to allow comments, I want to be able to moderate those comments. So I want to be able to tell, only leave the good things out there, right? So whatever she wants to do there, she can also choose to allow others to copy her work and kind of use it as a the word's not coming to me, use it as a template. So she has the ability to do those things as well. Okay. Let me actually click there. One thing I accidentally skipped over, guys, on the access, she can say all users, her connections, so those are the people she's basically friends with or the people she's connected to. She could also share it with just her groups, or she could come in here and say, you know, I just want to share this with Gary, or I just want to share this with Jessica or whoever. So she can come in and choose who she shares that content with. Okay. So let's take a look at ideas. Sarah has proposed a couple of ideas here. She's proposed at least one idea. She can look at all the different ideas that have been posted across the site. So she can see that Gary's posted an idea, Calvin has posted an idea. Basically, the purpose of ideas is allows folks to go in and actually vote on these ideas. So she's already voted on Gary's proposal here. And she could continue to she could like it, and Gary would actually he would see that show up on his feed. She could choose to watch it, so if it's a really good idea and other people are coming in and contributing really cool comments, she could watch that and be notified as people do stuff, or if it's inappropriate, she could report it if need be. Ideas are kind of cool in the fact that you can just propose an idea out there and then get your colleagues' feedback. Questions are a nice feature as well because it allows people to learn from one another. So asking questions either about the LMS, the social environment, or anything inside of your company. One of the cool things about this is that it's going to show you if it's been answered or not. And also, Sarah has the ability, so she's asked the question, so how does this ToDo social thing work? And Gary came back and he answered her. Now, other folks could have answered, but she actually rated Gary's as the best answer. So you've probably seen that on different social boards if you've ever searched any types of questions on Google or anything like that. A lot of times you will see the best answer that's been highlighted, so you don't have to dig for the best answer. And since she's the person that asked the question, she would probably be the person to rank what is the best answer there. You'll notice here that this one is still open. This one says it's answered. So she's asking a question. Anybody have any leadership articles out there? And nobody's posted an answer back to her at this point, but she could even provide an answer for herself if she ends up finding something, or someone else could come in and pose those pose those answers back to her as well. We're going to jump over as Gary real quick to look at blogs because he actually has one. Okay, you can have multiple different blogs inside of the system, and right now Gary has his leadership advice blog, and here he's just posted and shared some great resources that he has found. You'll notice that he's published this, so other people could potentially find it on the ToDo social site, and he can even go back into the blogs. If we go back, let's go back to this My Blogs page. And he can choose to edit the entire blog, so not just the posting, but the entire blog itself, and he can choose who he shares it with. So again, he has the ability to share this with everyone. He has the ability to share it with just Sarah. He has the ability to share it with whomever he would like to share that with. He can add comments. He can allow for sharing on social networking sites. He can do all those good things as well with his blogs. Gary also has a to-do list over here. So he's got the Johnson project. And in here, he's able to see that he needs to identify a main project lead. He needs to make contact with that person, send project details to the client. And he is able to come in here and mark things as complete as he moves through. He can set potential completion dates for himself as far as, oh, I want to be completed by this particular time. So he can do those types of things. He can mark them as completed as he moves through. If he needs to, he can share this to-do list with other folks. One of the gotchas I've noticed with the to-do list is he can share it with other people, but those other people can't contribute to the to-do list, unfortunately. Not at this time. I could see that being something that they do in the future. Now let's take a look at files as far as what they can contribute as far as files are concerned. You'll see here he's got his files, and then here is all files. So he sees files that are loaded by other people as well. Again, same with files as everything else. If he wants to share it with everyone, fantastic. If he wants to keep it to himself, he can absolutely do that and then utilize it as an asset all the way throughout his own profile. Okay. So he also has the ability to connect with people. So he can come over here. He can choose to connect to different groups. Groups can be whatever they need to be, and they can also have their own individual administrators. So if you need someone to administer a particular group, sometimes you might set up groups by divisions in your company. That might be something that you choose to do, where they can kind of talk amongst themselves, or you can have a larger group where it's just anybody and everybody can come in and contribute. You can do all kinds of stuff. You can control these groups where they are closed groups or open groups. If they're closed, you have to actually request membership and be added. If it's an open group, you can come and go as you please. And you can basically just see any kind of information that is provided inside of that group. So you can see about the group, members, forums in the group, pages in a group, files, so you can add and contribute even within that group. And you'll see all of the different information. It also kind of has its own news feed type of thing, and all that great information as well. Okay, you can also connect with other people on the site. So just like any other social networking site, you can go in and you can find people. So you can search for those individuals by their last name, first name, if they're recent to the site. You can choose to add them. You can remove them from your connections if you want to. You can also send them direct messages, just like you might do in any other social networking site as well. So this is where your messages are going to go up here in this big envelope. So you'll see here he got a new connection request from Sarah, and he already accepted that. He's read it a long time ago and accepted Sarah's request. Earlier I mentioned that there is a chat feature built into the system that hasn't, and of course it has expired at this point, but it's a really cool chat feature when it's not expired. I would have to do a little administrative tweaking there. Sorry about that, guys. Basically where people can chat in real time. It's going to function very similarly to any other type of internal chatting tool. So think if you've used Salesforce before, chatting inside of that, chatting inside of Jira, any of those kind of tools. So that is what that is going to do there. So guys, this is kind of our Totara social aspect in a nutshell, but it's really kind of cool. One of the things that you have the ability to do as well, again, you can connect this to your Totara LMS with single sign-on. So basically, your learners are inside of the LMS, and then you can tell them to get social. They can click, be kicked across. They never really know. I mean, they know that they've left, apparently, because it's a little bit different type of environment. But we can skin it to look exactly like your Totara LMS, so that it's very similar as far as moving from one to the other. So that's all something to keep in mind and something to consider there. And really, really a nice tool. So I'm going to turn it over to you guys for any questions that you have for me.